Hello everybody, my name is Sky Holmgren. I'm going to be a senior in the construction management program at BYU, Idaho. I'm currently at a cabin in Ashton that we've been building over the winter and then a little bit throughout the summer. I'm going to just take a step outside here so I can show you what that looks like. But I'm making this video as my final report for my second internship in the construction management program. There's that cabin. Pretty cool, pretty big. It's not done yet though. So this summer, just real quick, I've been working for a company called Chapel Construction as a foreman or a lead carpenter. Chapel Construction is a framing and concrete subcontractor. And this summer I've had the opportunity to work on this house a little bit, to fully frame a house in Pocatello, as well fully frame a house in Victor, Idaho. Also had the new experience of pouring concrete. I did a couple foundations, which was a new experience. Not one that I really loved, but I'm more of a framing guy. Here we go. And then starting tomorrow, we're gonna frame, I think, a house or two for Karchner while we're waiting on a ridge beam we ordered for the Victor job. And I think it'll be cool to build a couple production homes and see how that goes. As the foreman or the lead carpenter, I've had the opportunity to read plans, set the example while framing for some of the new guys, coordinate with the boss or with the general contractor of some of the jobs we've been on, kind of answer questions or make some decisions, which is always scary, as well as to evaluate some of the new hires. Every time we have someone new come try it out or come work for us, I've had the opportunity of having them work with me for a day or two or a week, kind of evaluate them and see how they work, and again, answer any questions they have. And so I wanted to focus this video, on them. After this summer, I learned a lot of things, and I think probably the thing I learned most is that it really matters who you hire in your company. It matters for profits, it matters for the quality of your work. You're going to want good guys working for you. And so I want, in this video, to give some advice to new interns in the construction management program, or anyone who may watch this video before starting their first framing job. I know how you feel. I was there last year, a couple years ago, framing my first ever house, and yeah, I didn't know what to expect. It was kind of scary. And one of the biggest questions I had was what to bring to the job site. And that's a question that I heard a lot of times this summer from the new hires, is what should I bring? And we had guys that would bring nothing. We had guys that would bring a small belt with one bag on one side. Or we even had a guy that brought a huge toolbox full of useless tools. So I wanted to, real quick in this video, in the hopes that maybe new interns will watch it or something, explain what I bring to the job site and what you should definitely have coming on as a new hire in a framing crew. It'll make you look good for your boss. It'll help you feel confident having the right tools, and you're not going to be having to ask your coworkers for any tools you have. So let me just go over this real quick as part of something I learned this summer, and maybe something that I can pass on: what to put in your tool bags and what to bring to the job site. So first and foremost, you're gonna want some tool bags if you're gonna be framing. These are always gonna be full of tools. Otherwise, you're gonna be running all over the job site every time you need a new tool. So there's a few obvious things, and there's a few things you might not think about. So we go over the obvious ones first. You got a tape measure. This one's called Milwaukee Wide Blade. This is my favorite so far out of the few that I've tried. The wide blade is nice because it will extend really far without breaking over. Another thing I look for in a tape measure, which might come in handy to you guys, is I really like the tapes that have the numbers on the bottom and on the top. It's really useful for me. And then some guys like the ones with the magnet, so you can grab nails or whatever. Some of them have a button, some of them have a thing. So you'll come to know what you like over time, but so far I'd say you never go wrong with Milwaukee here. Second, couple obvious things, is a pencil. You're going to want a construction pencil. Sometimes your boss will have these for you, but they're not too expensive, so I'd pick some up. I also like having a Sharpie in my bags. Comes in handy a lot. A knife. This is a Milwaukee one. Again, Milwaukee's just my favorite, but there's a whole variety of these. You want one with a sharp blade. You'll use this to open packages. I use it mostly to sharpen my pencil, to be honest. But if you don't have one, you're going to be asking your coworkers for one, so I definitely get one. Next, you're going to want a square. I don't think I knew what a square was before I started framing, but this is something you'll use every day. Basically, what you use it for is, say you got a 2x4 and you need to make a cut. You'll measure out your distance, you'll put your mark, and then you want a straight cut so you can have tight framing. So you're going to use this square, put it on the 2x4 just like this. You can square perfectly across. You got that line that you can cut really nicely. And you're going to have tight framing. It's going to look good, and it's going to function well. I like the Milwaukee square. It's really sturdy, and I actually really like, this is one of the necessities for me, is this little groove thing up here with these numbers on it. You see each groove corresponds to a number, and I'm finding myself using that constantly when I need to rip down a board or cut strips of OSB. I'll put that on there. I'll put my finger on the mark, put my pencil on the mark I want, put it on the edge here, slide it down, and you've got a really straight line. Again, you can find cheap ones. I think they have these for $1 at Harbor Freight or something, but you're gonna need to speak to people. Next, one that you might not think about, but definitely necessary, is chalk line. You're just gonna use this whenever you need to make a long straight line. You're gonna put this on one side, put this on the other side, snap it, you're gonna have a long straight line. You need a chalk line. I think just two more. Another obvious one, you're gonna need a hammer. My bags have a hook right here. That's where I keep my hammer at all times. When looking for a hammer, there's kind of two types. There's a framing hammer and a finish hammer. The framing hammer will have this waffle on there so you can grab nails real easy. You're not having your hammer slip off them or whatever. Again, and then framing hammers are typically bigger and heftier. This one's just a cobalt one. I think it came from Lowe's, and it's worked really well. A couple of the things I've really liked about it is this groove on the front where I can hold nails just like that, hit them right in. It's kind of nice. And then this groove on the side, if you've got a nail that you can't pry with these claws for whatever reason, you turn it sideways and you got a lot more leverage to pull with that little groove. So again, probably too much information on the hammer, but you're gonna need a hammer. And then last but not least, definitely not least, is a cat's paw. This will come in handy every day for a variety of reasons. I use it most either to dig out nails. If I've got a nail that I just can't get with my hammer claws, I can use this cat's paw, get underneath it, pry it up to a point where I can get it with my hammer claws. You'll use this to hammer in and pry things apart, or a wide variety of reasons. But again, you might not think of this, but it's definitely something you'll want. So there you have it. There's all the tools that I keep in my tool bags, the ones that I've found most useful. Typically, I don't need anything on top of those to frame a house. A couple other things you'll find in your tool bags at any given time, maybe some racks of nails as you'll be shooting the nail gun, or whatever else you want to keep in there, whether it's gloves or candy bars or whatever. Everyone has a few other things that they like having in their bags, but for me, what I just showed you is it's kind of the bare minimum for framing. You're gonna need all of those. They come in handy every single day. I use all of those, and you're gonna want a nice double-sided pair of bags so you can hold all those tools. I think these ones are $30 at Lowe's, or I think they have a really similar pair for $20 at Harbor Freight. So I'm getting short on time, so I have to end the video, but it was a good internship. I feel like I learned a lot. I had a good experience as a foreman. I kind of want to run my own framing or general contracting crew at some point. So I had a good experience working with new guys and being able to answer questions and kind of take the lead on some of the things. So again, hopefully that video helped if you're a new intern or a new hire, but I better finish up. So That's about it. Thanks.